Don Brown, attending remotely from Washington Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Kleinfeld.
Commissioner Kleinfeld voting remotely from East Point, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Romano.
Commissioner Romano, District 4, Sterling Heights, present and participating remotely in Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Kraft.
Commissioner Phil Kraft, attending remotely from Chesterfield Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Haw.
Commissioner Haw, attending remotely, Roseville, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Wallace.
Commissioner Wallace, attending remotely from Clinton Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Song.
Commissioner Song, attending remotely from Warren, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Van Sickle.
Commissioner Van Sickle, attending remotely, Sterling Heights, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Zinner.
Commissioner Zinner, attending remotely from Harrison Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Matuzik.
Commissioner Matuzik, attending remotely from Clinton Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Farrington.
Commissioner Farrington, attending remotely from Utica, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Sabatini.
Commissioner Sabatini, attending remotely from Macomb Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
And Commissioner Nard.
Commissioner Nard, attending remotely from Warren, Macomb County, Michigan.
And that completes the roll.
Thank you, Michael. We appreciate that. Next order of business is Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3 is the adoption of the agenda. Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion
Romano
by,
adopts the agenda.
Motion to adopt, Nard.
Motion's been made and supported. Please vote.
That motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Next item is item number 4, the approval of the minutes. Minutes dated February 18th, 2021. I need a motion to approve the minutes.
Matuzik moves.
Support.
Okay.
Support by Commissioner Farrington. All those, please vote.
That motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Item 5 is public participation. Public participation. Anyone wishes to speak has 3 minutes to speak on any item on the agenda. There'll be a second opportunity at following the end of the meeting. Speak in any subject you wish. No foul language or harassment will be tolerated. You'll be asked to leave the meeting if you do. Is there anyone on the phone that would like to be heard? Press *6 if you are. Unmute yourself. Is there anyone on the phone? Don't hear anyone from the phone. Staff, is there anyone in the chat box who wishes to address the board?
Chair, no one has indicated they wish to speak in the chat.
Yes.
Is there anyone on the phone?
Chair, I believe
Yes.
Dana Duggar has raised his hand. He hasn't put his name in the chat box, but I'll do that for him.
Okay,
Please,
thank you.
Go ahead, sir. Please state your name and what community you're from for the record. You have 3 minutes.
I am Dana Duggar. I reside in Clinton Township. Point of clarity. This is regarding a pertinent issue, but it is not on today's agenda. Should I be waiting to the end of your meeting to make my short statement, or is now okay?
Yes, please. Well, sir, I'll grant you the latitude to speak now. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Dear board members and Macomb County residents, I am Dana Duggar. I reside in Clinton Township. I was much distressed yesterday to learn of the county administration's plan to have the Macomb County Department of Roads clear snow from the Macomb Orchard hike bike path in the north end of the county. My frustration's roots are in the administration's absolute and steadfast refusal to clear snow from the county sidewalk on the county's Harper Avenue Bridge over the Clinton River Spillway this past winter. The Macomb County Department of Roads road plowing piles snow on their sidewalks, causing pedestrians to walk in the traveled portion of a 45-mile-an-hour roadway. The county's plan to clear snow from a recreational pathway in the northern townships while refusing to clear snow from their sidewalks used for essential travel in Clinton Township is a glaring example of misplaced priorities. To add further insult, Clinton and Harrison Townships have to pay the Huron-Clinton Metropolitan Authority for snow removal on the hike bike paths in our townships. If the county is going to remove snow from hike bike paths in any township, they must do it for hike bike paths in all townships. But first and foremost, the county must provide snow removal on essential pedestrian thoroughfares such as their sidewalks on the Harper Bridge. Thank you for your attention, dear board.
Thank you. Is there anyone else on the phone that wishes to be heard? Anyone else in the chat box, staff?
No one else has indicated they wish to speak, Chair.
Very good. We'll close for public participation. Item 6 is correspondence from the Executive's Office. We have none. Item 7 is a public hearing on the Brownfield of North Point Development in Shelby Township, Michigan. I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this subject? Anyone wish to be heard on this subject at all from the public on North Point Development, Shelby Township? One last time, anybody wants to be heard on this subject? If you're on the phone, you can press *6 to unmute yourself. Staff, is there anyone in the chat box that wish to be heard on this subject?
No one has indicated that they wish to speak in the chat box, Chair.
Okay. And hearing none, we'll close this public hearing with no comments on this subject. I need a motion to receive and file. Well, I don't know if we'll just close the public hearing.
We need a motion to close the public hearing. I so move.
Support by Romano.
Very good. Please vote. Thank you, Commissioners. Item 8 is presentations. We have an update from Vicki Wolber on the COVID update for March. Vicki, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you for having us here again today. I think you have everything in your board packet. I'll go through it like I have in the previous months. Beginning, you have your our response to COVID graphic that we're doing on a monthly basis now. That gives you a lot of good stats on what we've been doing in the community. In regards to emergency management, majority of their time continues to be spent in the vaccination planning arena and the distribution models, along with staff from the health department, as has been previously reported and in some emails to the board. We are working through congregate care sites within the county for the approximately 60 or so that were our responsibility to work through. We're working through some of those sites in conjunction with the partner EMS agencies within those communities. We have the 2 community sites long-term set up with Richmond Lennox EMS and the one in Sterling Heights. We have 3 other community sites in discussion. We've talked about the Warren site. We're hoping to launch the Warren site in the beginning of April. And then we're also looking at sites in Chesterfield as well as East Point in partnership with surrounding communities. We've talked about community sites that are more one-day events. We have several locations that we're working on in conjunction with that as part of the regional FEMA program that with the Ford Field site, FEMA has a mobile vaccination program. So we are partnering with them. We are targeting basically those same communities that we were for the one-day community type events. We are hoping to launch those in April as well. We just have to coordinate logistics with FEMA. We have our homeless coalition partnership that we're working on as well. We had a meeting as recently as this past week with those groups. We hope to launch a vaccination program with them coming up in within the next 30 days. And then obviously our partnership with SMART is also continuing. Just to let you know, based on statistics that SMART has provided to us, over 20,000 different individuals have used that SMART service. And either the call-in phone number for that or their online registration, and then county personnel make those phone calls back to get those people scheduled. Also, in regards to the personal protective equipment, you have an updated schedule there. And coming next month, you will see we have started to look at some purchases for gloves for the personal protective equipment. That continues to be a hot commodity for all of our partners, whether it's in the first responder community, our long-term care facilities, hospitals, etc. Moving on to the financial reports that you have in your packet. As you can see, concentrating on at least our 2021 expenditures, where we're at right now. We're just a little over 8 million actually expended and out the door. And then we have another 3.5 million that has been encumbered. Some of the higher expenditures that you'll see are encumbrances. Again, go back to PPE and the gloves. There were a couple orders that were placed at the end of, towards the end of last year that actually just got delivered in this year and paid. So that's why those expenses are in this year's report. We paid out the business grants within the past month for approximately 4.1 million. We made payments to MISD for projects through the CARES Act that were approved last year. We also had approximately 300,000 in hotel reimbursements for the Homeless Coalition that we partnered with them on. We also have an encumbrance for the Qualtrics project that was approved earlier. And then also there's the very large software-defined networking project through IT and some payments to Presidio that account for those larger expenditures. In regards to the CARES Act, I've detailed the project areas that still have funding remaining for the rest of the year. We have just under 20 million still left to spend. We have money within our business relief program. Obviously, testing and vaccination will continue to go on. That's roughly 4.3 million. Municipal Relief Fund, we have the reimbursements in. Those are just very tedious to go through for audit purposes and just making sure that we have all the required information. We've made some payments out of the 10.3, but we still have another 8.9 million to reimburse. We have Martha T-Berry expenses of 2.6 million that are pending. Reimbursement to the schools. And the ISD for 1.2 million. Vulnerable populations has 1.2 million. And then there's a small amount left unallocated. If you look at the items that came before the board this month, essentially there were just two. One is the senior services, the SHIP memberships. that you saw at committee this month for roughly $49,000, and we'll get final approval today before the board. And then obviously the Qualtrics purchase that was already fully approved by the board last week. On the health department side, their testing continues within the community. Obviously, we have our Baker College site, plus we have our community sites and partnerships with Wayne State University, and access remains. And then we also have strike teams that continue to work with our long-term care facilities and congregate care facilities to provide them testing opportunities. We have seen an increase in positive cases. You've seen that throughout the state. Different areas of the country, we're experiencing that here as well. Just to give you an idea, our positivity rate in January was 7.8%. In February, it was 4.4%. And now already in March, we are at 8.3%. Our positive cases in February were, for the entire month, were just over 2,300. Essentially, using data through March 15th, we've already exceeded that, and we're at 2,500 cases with a couple weeks still left to go. Obviously, with all the testing work and the positive cases, our contact tracing, our case investigations continue to try and identify those individuals that were also affected. Again, it just gives us the reminder that we need to continue to be diligent in our social distancing, wearing masks, washing our hands, things of that nature. The other topic is obviously our vaccine rollout. I mentioned earlier all of the sites that the health department and emergency management are working on. Approximately to date, the health department itself has administered 80,000 doses within the county. We have, if you look countywide with all the providers within the county, we've distributed 253,000 doses, and 90,690 residents are fully vaccinated. So we've really come a long way within just the short 3 months that we've actually fully been open. We're starting to see some good increases. With our vaccine distribution from the state. They've given indication that we should not see any decreases, that we did kind of early on, and that we should see a steady stream, and if not increases coming in within the coming weeks and months. Just if you look at the numbers of seniors, obviously that's been one of the critical groups that we've all been concerned with about getting vaccinated. We have just over 50,000 fully vaccinated seniors within the county. And our estimates, when we look at that, that's 65 and older. And our estimates countywide in that group are 152,000. So everyone has done very well trying to target the seniors and have them come in and get vaccinated, whether it's through our programs or obviously through the various hospital systems and pharmacies as well. I referenced the EMS agencies that we're working with. There's a few agencies that have already gone through our training program. We have others set to go through that program in the coming weeks. So we're starting to get them to come through to be vaccinators. There is a short program that they go through with our health department. In addition to the other outreach events that we've talked about, we have started on our homebound group. And these are people that live in individual homes or apartments. It's in addition to the congregate care piece. So we've launched that this past week. Again, we're partnering generally with the EMS agencies within their community. We also had the Meyer Pharmacy partnership where we did just 4,900 doses with them to get out into the community. And then we also support an event at the request of the state with the Department of Corrections for the site out on 26 Mile Road for their staff to get them Moving on to our Human Resources and Labor Relations Department. Obviously, we continue, or they continue, with the Dignity campaign in the county. That's been very successful. They've been very integral with the staff that we've needed to hire within the county for our response to COVID. They're part of the staffing plan. They're part of the training program that we need to do to bring new employees online. In the past month, we've hired 20 new people for various vaccination assignments. And right now they're in the process of bringing on 40 more that we are going to need in the coming weeks. They also released our remote work policy to department leaders during this time frame. Our IT department, extremely busy as well. They continue to process internal help desk tickets. They had 76 just in the past month. You know that they're an integral part of our Qualtrics request, as well as our current system that we're using. And again, they had the most projects out of any department from the CARES Act. They had 61 total projects. 57 of those are complete, and they have 4 that are remaining. So that's great work to see all of that they've been able to do to improve various aspects of our technology within the county. Joint Information Center has been busy. We've had over 1.5 million hits to our website just during the past month. One of the creative things that they did that was requested out at the vaccination site at the VERC was to have some sort of display for people while they were waiting in line, just to help with some of the educational pieces, maybe some frequently asked questions that people could refer to while they're going through that process. So they helped set up a PowerPoint presentation and the necessary equipment to go along with that. We do a weekly COVID newsletter. Just in the past month, we've added over 8,400 new subscribers. We have a total of 43,000 people that get that newsletter every week. So the demand keeps growing for the information that we put out there, and as our plans continue to expand. It was a busy month for press releases. We had a couple of different press events as well. Planning and academic development, I mentioned the checks that went out as part of the MEDC grant. So that was very successful. And with the new funding coming in, they will be very busy once again within the business realm. They continue to participate in our Back to Business kits and help with a lot of outreach and promotions within the business community. They still have their economic task force that is set up and guidance to provide businesses as we navigate through the COVID process. When you look at our conversations with the school districts, that continues. I think it's been in the news that many school districts are seeing outbreaks within their jurisdictions. We have a few of those as well where there's concerns. We're an integral part of that. The health department continues the consultation and planning with them. At a minimum, they have weekly meetings with the superintendent's group, as well as providing advisement daily on cases and interactions that pop up within our school districts. When you look at the remaining of our healthcare and hospitals systems, we have started to see an increase again in hospitalizations within the county. So you see that trend goes hand in hand as new cases pop up. It is a minimal trend, but it is there, and just wanted to note that. Lastly, as you look at our short-term and long-term planning initiatives, I think we're going to see a lot of different areas come together all at once. We obviously have the testing, and it looks like we might continue with higher testing numbers. So our site will continue to be, will increase and be busy. Vaccination, we hope, is going to continue to take off, which is a great thing, obviously, with more doses coming into the county. We also have, I think it's going to somewhat come to more of a head, if you will, those wanting to return to work or needing to return to work, but with high positivity rate and high cases, still needing to keep people out of the workplace. So we see being part of those conversations. And then obviously the new American Rescue Plan and the funding that is coming into the county with that, and having discussions. So we have some meetings coming up internally to start taking a look at that. Right now, we have not seen any short version documents that have come from the feds. Right now, I think the act itself is 658 pages. And in addition to our $170 million pot of money, there are many, many programs in there that our county departments will also see grant funding come in. So it will take us some time to go through that. Obviously, with that kind of money, just like last time, we want to make sure we make the best informed decisions as possible. It's great that all of the local jurisdictions are getting money as well. So we know this time through that we really need to do a lot of coordination with them. So that if there's projects that we can both participate in and maximize our dollars and those projects. And we also don't want to compete. So we know that we'll be having conversations with them along the way as well. And with that, that concludes my report. And I'd be happy to take any questions, and others are on the call as well. Thank you. Don, I can't hear you. I don't know if it's just me or.
Our good staff mutes me all the time, so I gotta keep reminding myself to check back in. We have how many vaccines did the county receive in this week? We used to always have our Tuesday count, right? How many vaccines you received, and it was a lesser amount, but it kept growing. How much do we receive from the state this week?
Over the course of this past week, we find out on Fridays our dosage for the following week. So this week that we're in, it was approximately 11,500 first doses in the county. So it was an increase, I think, of approximately 2,500.
Okay. What about the single dose vaccine? Are we receiving any of that? And that would probably go to our shut-ins and people in nursing homes. Are we getting any of that?
Correct. We did receive an initial shipment of that a couple weeks ago of the Johnson & Johnson. That was just over 7,000 doses. And yes, those are being targeted to our homebound program, to the congregate care program, as well as senior citizens at the two sites, Richmond Lennox and Sterling Heights, who have been geared towards that as well.
Thank you, Vicki. Commissioner Matuzik.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, Vicki. That was a great report. I have two questions. The first, I have been contacted by one of my constituents who is a retired healthcare person who's now had both shots, and was wondering if there are volunteer opportunities in the vaccination program.
Sure. If you want to send me that information via email or through Patty Dibb, certainly we can contact them. That'd be great. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, they contacted me, so that was good. Then I've had two people contact to complain about the new online 24/7 system. And I just need to make sure that I completely understand it before I respond to them. They tell me that they sign in, they see the green calendar box, they hit the box, and it says there's no appointments on that day. And they said this has happened repeatedly. So I'm just trying to understand the system so I can respond to them.
Yeah, we can make sure to take a look at it, but generally that happens as other people are in the system as well. And if there are multiple people going in at the same time, that generally happens because someone grabbed the appointment before they did and have their information entered, or hit the submit button, if you will.
All right. That's what I assumed, but I wanted to make sure before I responded to them. Thank you very much.
Sure. You're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner Matuzik. Commissioner Wallace.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to say, per usual, Vicki, great job. You guys are on top of it. Julie, that did happen. I was trying to help someone, and I was in there. I was like, clicking as fast as I could and still missed it. But we were able to finally get through on the online. So it worked out for us. You just got to keep at it because someone is on there like super clicking. But I was also able to go to the Elizabeth Dole senior living complex, and they received the Johnson & Johnson 1 dose. And I mean, it was amazing. In and out, they called by room. They came down. They got the vaccine. They waited a little while. They went back to their room. There were no problems. Like the tenants were clapping. They were thanking everyone. So I just wanted to say, you know, from someone that was able to witness, it was, sorry, my phone. It was really a great opportunity to see, and people were very pleased and thankful. So good job on that.
Thank you for passing that along. Yes, we heard a lot of good things from that event. So good.
Thank you, Commissioner Wallace. Commissioner Zinner.
Thank you. Vicki, how many children are having a problem with COVID? Is it just a few in school, couple school districts? Is it a group? Was it some group who had a party, or what are you talking about here with these children you're saying?
Within the school districts, it tends to seem to be potentially outbreaks with their extracurricular activities. And some of those where the sporting events have started back up as part of that process. Some of their other clubs or activities within the schools. So it's not necessarily, a high percentage of positive cases, but because they are activities where there are close contacts, you end up having a number of close contacts that are out within the districts. I think I saw Andrew Cox pop up. Andrew, I don't know if you want to add to that.
Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Commissioners. Vicki did a great job filling in for me talking about the cases. So when we look at school-age cases, roughly about 42% of the cases accounted for those school-age or high school-age students. So we're seeing the majority of, at least a good chunk of the cases being reported in children in high school age. And a lot of this is linked to, like Vicki said, athletic sports. We've got several outbreaks in schools because of athletics.
Are you seeing quite a bit of this, or in one school or two schools, or is it all the schools, or how much are you seeing?
We're seeing it at multiple schools and school districts. It's not just one school district. So it's a concerning trend that we're seeing.
And I'm not sure how many school districts have young children or middle school children. Are you seeing it with not seeing it really with young children per se? But they're not as many. There's children in school and preschool in different areas, correct?
Correct. So
you're not
for
really
elementary, middle school age, it's about 20% overall of the cases. So it's less. We still see some there, but it's nowhere near like it is with the high school students.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Zinner. I've got another question. We've got a couple of permanent sites now operating in the county, and we were waiting for more vaccine to come in so we could open some other sites up around the county. You said you had 3 other sites we're working on. Are we still waiting on the vaccine? Is that the reason some of those other sites haven't opened up yet, Vicki?
A large part of it has to do, yes, to the vaccine and the amounts that we have coming in. But it also has to do with some of the logistics with the sites and setting them up, making sure the site's appropriate, doing our walkthrough there. And then it also goes down a lot to staffing and whether the local jurisdictions are going to be able to partner with us and provide staffing, or if we have to provide the staff ourselves. So that's probably one of the other key areas. If they're unable to assist with the staffing, then we need to go out and hire the staff to staff those sites.
we're pushing almost a third of our county though has been vaccinated. 233,000 people. That's an excellent number, and that's a credit to everyone that's been involved in pushing that vaccine out. So thank you. I don't have any other speakers on the list. The last time I checked, there's no one. I need a motion to receive and file this report.
Motion to receive, Nard.
Support Sabatini.
Thank you, Commissioner Zinner. Any further discussion? Please call the vote.
That motion passes 13-0.
Thank you, Vicki, for you and your whole team for what you continue to do for us every day, 24/7, and we appreciate you, and keep up the good work. We're here if you need us. If you need any help at all in any part of our county, reach out to our county commissioners. We're here to maybe run the traps and help you with what you're trying to accomplish. So
Will do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next item is appointments. Item 9 is appointments. We've got a series of, we're going to have, Krista, are you going to run the election for us?
Yes.
We're going to do it in two. There's going to be 2 votes, one for the partial term, and then a second round of voting for the remaining term. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll let you take over from here.
Okay, and the first vote will be for the partial term, which begins on April 1st, 2021, expiring on March 31st, 2023. There are 2 candidates that applied for this, Donna Kangemi and Antoinette Wallace. Kangemi has applied for either appointment, and Wallace has only applied for this partial term. So I'm going to do a roll call vote. We do it alphabetically with the vice chair and chair voting last per the current board rules. So when I call your name, please give me the candidate who you are voting for. Farrington?
Antoinette Wallace.
Kleinfeld?
Wallace.
Kraft?
Antoinette Wallace.
Matuzik?
Antoinette Wallace.
Nard, Commissioner Nard?
Antoinette Wallace.
Thank you. Romano?
Donna Kangemi.
Sabatini?
Antoinette Wallace.
Van Sickle?
Antoinette Wallace.
Wallace?
I'll vote for myself, Antoinette Wallace.
Song?
Wallace.
Zinner?
Antoinette Wallace.
Ha?
Antoinette Wallace.
And Brown?
Commissioner Antoinette Wallace.
Okay, so Wallace received 12 votes. Okay. Sorry, I just have to update this. Okay, for the next.
Do you want us to make a formal motion after that or no?
No, I don't think we need one unless you would prefer to do it that way. So we're handling it like an election. Okay, so we need 4. There are 4 vacancies for the 3-year term. All the names should be on your agenda in front of you. I'm not going to call those all off. So we need, to be elected, they need a majority vote. So once a candidate receives at least 7 votes, they are considered chosen to fill one of those vacancies, and we will continue doing multiple rounds until we have 4 candidates that have received at least a majority vote. We do need one of those candidates to be a family member. So when we get down to the final vote, we will determine if we have achieve that or not. If not, we will have to leave that open. So for the first round, if Commissioner Farrington, you can please give me your 4 names.
Yes, Phil Kraft, Tony Plewa, Lori Phillips, Brianna Jacob.
Okay, Kleinfeld.
Sorry about that. Kraft, Nagovin, Phillips, Conjemi.
Okay, Kraft.
Brianna Jacob, Mark Kilgore, Lori Phillips, Phil Kraft.
Okay, Matuzek. Commissioner Matuzek.
Sorry.
You're fine.
This whole muting thing. Yeah, well, you didn't hear me swear when I realized I hadn't turned the mic on. Donna Conjemi, Phil Kraft, Brian Nagovin, Lori Phillips.
Okay, Nard.
Kraft, Phillips, Nagovi, and Jimmy.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your 4th one.
Conjemi, Donna Conjemi. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Conjemi. So I have, okay, I got a little bit of a feedback. So I've got Conjemi, Kraft, Nagovin, and Phillips for you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Romano.
Kilgore, Phillips, Kraft, and Jimmy.
Okay, Sabatini.
Kraft, Phillips, Jacob, and DeChico.
Okay, Van Sickle.
Dubay, Kraft, McGarity, and Phillips.
Okay, Wallace.
Kraft, McGarity, Kilgore, and Plewa.
Okay, Song.
Kraft, Conjemi, Phillips, and Jacob.
Zinner.
Phil Kraft, Brianna Jacobs, Lori Phillips, and Hillary Dubé.
Ha.
Phil Kraft, Mark Kilgore, Brian Nagovian, and Donna Conjemi.
Brown.
Phil Kraft, Brianna Jacob, Lori Phillips, and Hillary Dubé.
Okay, with that round, we have 2 candidates, Kraft receiving 13 votes and Phillips receiving 11 votes to fill 2 of the 4. And I do believe that satisfies the family member requirement also. So we'll do another round of voting with everybody but Kraft and Phillips. We'll start with Farrington again.
Brianna Jacob, Mark Kilgore.
Okay, Kleinfeld.
Conjemi, Nagovin.
Kraft.
Jacob and Kilgore.
Matuzek.
Conjemi, Nagovin.
Nard.
Conjemi, Nagova.
Romano.
Conjemi, Kilgore.
Sabatini.
Jacob, Kilgore.
Van Sickle.
McGarity and Dubé.
Wallace.
McGarity and Kilgore.
Song.
Jacob and Kanjemi.
Zinner.
Jacobs and Jabez.
Ha.
Kilgore and Nagovian.
Brown.
Jacob and Dubay.
Okay, I don't have a majority out of that.
Crystal?
Yes.
I'm sorry, a point of order. Probably when you're doing this process, in order for everybody not to just keep voting on the same people, you have to drop the low ones from the list if this is the process that you're doing.
Okay. The commissioners can agree not to vote for any of, do you want to drop, how many of the lowest ones do you want to do that with?
Well, what are the numbers?
Yeah.
Okay, we have, the lowest is Garrity with 2, and then Dubay is 3, Nagovan is 4, Kanjemi is 5, Jacob 6, Kilgore 6. So the lowest 2, other than 0, are the 2 and 3 votes. Do you want me to let you know?
Farrington makes a motion to drop the 2 lowest vote counts.
Okay. Including, okay.
Let's vote on that. Michael, please call the vote.
Is there a second?
Nard.
Yeah, there was a second.
Thank
Commissioner
you.
Nard.
I'll support that. Romano.
So we're voting now to drop the bottom 2. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Commissioners, this is Michael. I'm still here. We have a couple commissioners that haven't recorded a vote just yet. Again, a reminder, this is a motion by Farrington, supported by Nard, just to drop the final 2.
It didn't come up on my
If
screen
you,
for me to vote.
if you scroll down the screen, they have the list of the candidates there, commissioners. You scroll down, the vote is below that screen. So just scroll down on that page. That's where it was. That caused my delay as well. I didn't see it initially.
That's a good tip to let staff know about. We'll make sure to try to adjust that in the future with our long list. So that motion passes 12-1 with Commissioner Zinner voting no.
Okay.
Okay, so the
Just for clarification, I would have said drop 1 and go up from there for more choice, but I'm good with you guys.
okay, so the 4 remaining to vote on would be Kanjemi, Jacob, Kilgore, and Nagovan. Farrington,
Jacob and Kilgore.
Kleinfeld,
Kanjemi and Nagovan.
Kraft,
Jacob and Kilgore.
Matuzik,
Kanjemi and Nagovan.
Nard,
Kanjemi and Nagovan.
Romano,
Kanjemi and Kilgore.
Sabatini,
Jacob and Kilgore.
Van Sickle,
Jacob and Kilgore.
Wallace,
Kanjemi and Kilgore.
Song,
Jacob and Kanjemi.
Zinner,
Jacob and Kilgore.
Ha,
Kilgore and Nagovian.
Brown,
Jacob and Kilgore.
Okay, so I have Kilgore with 9, Jacob with 7, as the two other candidates that will be appointed. Just for your information, Kanjemi received 6 and Nagovin was at 4. So,
Crystal, there was interference. Could you repeat what you just said?
sure. So Kilgore with 9 and Jacob with 7 votes will be the next 2 candidates appointed to make the 4. So we have 4. Just for your information, Kanjemi received 6 and Nagovin received 4. So we have Kraft, Phillips, Kilgore, and Jacob as the 4 candidates that will be appointed for that 3-year term.
Chair, point of order.
Yes.
Because this is an appointment, I would appreciate a motion on the books. So I would make a motion to appoint the top vote getters in each section.
Well, go ahead. I agree. I need a second for that motion. Very good. Thank you, Commissioner Kleinfeld.
Thank you.
Please vote.
And again, for the commissioners, the save button is off the screen.
Yes, we will fix that for future long lists like that. That motion passes 13-0.
Okay, thank you. Next item is committee recommendations, Health and Human Services Committee recommendations. Can I have a motion of Commissioner Zinner, that's your committee? Would you like to move in their entirety?
Motion to move it. Motion to move in entirety.
I'll support.
Thank you.
Is there any of them noes that wish to be separated? Any discussion on any of those items? Please call the vote.
That motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Next committee reports are Committee of Infrastructure. Commissioner Van Sickle, do you wish to make a motion?
Yes, I move we adopt the entirety.
Is there support?
Support Hall.
Is there any discussion, any of those items?
Just that it's internal services, correct?
Internal services, yeah.
Thank you.
All those in favor, please vote.
That motion passes 13-0.
Very good. Item 12, Public Services Committee recommendations.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve all items previously approved in the Public Services Committee.
Support Hall.
Is there any discussion on any of these items? Seeing none, please call the vote. Thank you.
That motion passes 13-0.
Item 13 is Records and Public Safety Committee recommendations. Commissioner Romano, Chairman.
Move to take items A through F and move them in their entirety, please.
Very good. Is that motion supported?
Support Farrington.
Is there any discussion on any of these items? Seeing none, please call the vote.
That motion passes 13-0.
Okay, thank you. Item 14 is resolutions. We have resolution 14A. resolution of approving the Brownfield plan for the county of Macomb. I need a motion on 14A.
Moved by
support.
Kleinfeld.
Support Hall.
Thank you. Any discussion on this item, commissioners? Please call the vote.
That motion passes 13-0.
Thank you, Commissioner. Item number 14B, resolution pledging full faith and credit for the Macomb County Interceptor Drainage District. I need a motion on that.
Motion by
to support.
Motion by Farrington, supported by Haw.
That was Van Sickle.
Oh, it was Van Sickle. I'm sorry, Commissioner Van Sickle. Is there any discussion on this item? Please call the vote.
That motion passes 13-0.
All right, thank you. Next item is proclamations. Proclamation commending Kathy Vosberg for dedicated service to Macomb County Community Mental Health. Commissioner Kraft, would you like to do the honors, please?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chair, to approve.
Support Van
Sabatini.
Sickle.
The motion's been made and supported. Anyone wish to speak on this item? Commissioner Vosberg's been a steady hand in county government for a long time and served us well on that commission. And your service is appreciated and laid the groundwork for us to get us to move forward after a very difficult time on that board. And your leadership's appreciated. Any other comments? Commissioner Kleinfeld.
Actually, I think Commissioner Kraft was going to speak to it since it is a proclamation and he was introducing it. And then I'd like to speak after he does. Thank you.
He was up. Commissioner Kraft, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'd like to read a portion of it, Mr. Chair, if I could. Commissioner Romano did such an excellent job of it in committee. I thought we'd do it again with Kathy here.
Don't start, Kraft.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Commissioner. All right. Whereas the Macomb County Board of Commissioners would like to express appreciation and commend Kathy Vosberg for more than 13 consecutive years of dedicated service to the Macomb County Community Mental Health Board. And whereas dedication to the well-being and care of the individuals receiving services through the Macomb County Community Mental Health System, coupled with the contribution of one's time and passion to causes which advance the betterment of the community, should be publicly acknowledged and recognized. And whereas Kathy Vosberg has invested enormous amounts of time, I can vouch for that, energy and effort to the Community Mental Health Board since April of 2008. She has deployed practicality in combination with creative problem solving as she devoted her time to support causes related to the most vulnerable and needy citizens of our county, ensuring these individuals have access to care and a safety net upon which they can depend on. And it goes on and on about how great Kathy is and how great her leadership has been. And that's why we had to fill a partial term today, because Kathy has done her job so well that she's leaving early. It's going to be huge shoes to fill. We are definitely going to miss her on the board. Kathy has been my mentor and friend for a very long time. So Kathy, earn this. Enjoy the break. I will still be bothering you plenty. And we have some new faces that are going to need some help along the way. So Kathy, thank you for everything. And thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Kraft. Commissioner Kleinfeld.
Thank you, Chair. Kathy, I just wanted to say you taught me a lot about community mental health as well as being a great mentor on this board, and I very much appreciate that. I know with respect to that board, you had a lot of very early morning meetings. I know because Commissioner Toko tried to get me involved in that and I wasn't having anything to do with it. I just want to tell you I really appreciate the time and energy that you put into it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Kleinfeld. Commissioner Sabatini.
Thank you, Chair. Kathy, just wanted to say thank you for all your time and dedication you put towards this board. You've been a great representative for the community, and I just wanted to congratulate you and wish you well. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Sabatini. Commissioner Haw.
Thank you, Chair. Kathy, I just want to repeat some of the comments that have already been stated. You have been a great mentor. Anytime I had a question, I could call you up and always got a great answer. And anytime Phil Kraft gives somebody a glowing endorsement like that, it's really well deserved. So congratulations. Enjoy your, I'm hoping, retirement from the board, and best wishes. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak on this? Kathy, would you like to say a few words?
Well, I thank you very much for the recognition. And as those of us who get involved in things know, this is nice to receive recognition, but it's even nicer to know that the hard work we've been doing does make a difference in our community. And I have been very grateful to have had the ability and the health to be able to serve in this capacity. You started out, before the meeting even started, there was chit chat and discussion about somebody found a piece of campaign material, and it was for Mary Louise Daner. We served together on the Community Mental Health Board a long time. When I first started, she was on that board. And it's kind of a neat thing to hear all these names coming back, because it takes a lot of people to get all the things done that the board needs to get done, in addition to the hundreds of employees that we have on community mental health providing services for the, as stated before, the vulnerable people in our community. So thank you very much for the recognition, and thank you for letting me serve all these years.
You're very welcome, Kathy. You're always welcome here, and anything we can do, we're at your service. Thank you. All right. Next is a proclamation 15B.
Chair Brown, this is Michael. I can prompt that vote real quick.
Oh, please. All right, go ahead, please. Thank you.
And that motion passes 13-0.
Very good. Thank you. Item 15B, a proclamation recognizing the month of March is Women's History Month. I need a motion.
Motion by Nard.
Motion by.
Motion is made and supported. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, I'll call the vote.
That motion passes unanimously.
Very good. Thank you. Item 16 is new business. Is there any new business to come before the committee? Any new business? Commissioner Zong.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to ask everyone to please join me in a moment of silence for the 8 victims, including 6 Asian American women who were murdered in Atlanta on Tuesday, the 16th. Thank you. As public officials and leaders in our community, we have a responsibility to speak out against racial hate crimes against all people of color. We must lead by example and denounce the rising hate crimes against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. These senseless acts of violence and discrimination have no place in America. 3,800 incidences have been reported to Stop AAPI Hate since the start of the pandemic, with 25 of those from Michigan and 1 in Macomb County. But I and other leaders in our community know that that number is much higher. And as an Asian American, I know that my fellow brothers and sisters will not report these types of incidences for fear of retribution and knowing that nothing will be done. Asian Americans have contributed immensely to the growth of our country. And I know that this is being recorded, and I encourage my fellow brothers and sisters who may be listening or watching this later to please report these incidents of hate crimes and discrimination. So if you know anyone who has been affected by a hate crime, please contact the Michigan Attorney General. They have a hate crimes unit, 313-456-0200. And if you have any question about civil rights or you believe that you've been discriminated, you can also call the Michigan Department of Civil Rights Discrimination Hotline, 1-800-482-3604. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Song. Commissioner Zinner.
Well, after Commissioner Song, this seems very trivial. I even hate to bring it up now. But in relation to Mr. Duggar's point, the citizen who spoke earlier at the public speaking, I ran into, or I had a resident mention to me that he lives by a bike path, kind of an enclosed area where the bike path is by his house. And it doesn't bother him. It doesn't affect him. But when Mr. Duggar mentioned about the clearing of the bike path where he lives, this gentleman happened to mention to me recently that the bike path in Harrison Township in that area is cleared at 4 in the morning when it's the worst snow. He said it's cleared before the roads are cleared. And I guess that's a wonderful thing, but it must be a different area. I mean, a different group of people who clear the bike paths in the walking areas. But I agree with that gentleman that the more important areas for walking and travel by foot should be held at a higher standard than the bike paths, which people do walk on those. They do travel on those. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that as a point of fact. And I appreciate what Mr. Duggar said, and I'm sure there are other areas also. And I am sorry for that situation that Commissioner Song brought up. Everyone is of value. There is no one who is not of value. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Kleinfeld.
Thank you. I just want to thank Commissioner Song for her words. We've got history in this area, specifically with regard to Asian and Pacific Islanders, that we should remember. Very eloquently said. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We all share the same sentiments, Commissioner Song, and so many people, and your advocacy and letting people know where to reach out for information should they feel victimized or know of people being victimized or maybe too scared to speak. To have that resource to them is helpful to them. So you're to be commended for that as well. Commissioner Wallace.
Thank you, Chair. First, Commissioner Song, like everyone else said, I mean, you put it so well, and thank you for bringing that up. And we continue to support you and your efforts. And, we have to stand against racism. There is no if, ands, or buts about it. We have to stand against it, especially as leaders in this county. Next, I want to thank you all for your votes and believing in me. I strongly appreciate it, and I will show you that I'm up for the job, and this is something that's extremely passionate to me. So thank you again. And the last thing I want to say, Mr. Dana and I have been trying to get this issue fixed. So I'm glad that he was able to call in. We've been contacting many different people and been getting kind of closed off. And he's been doing this years before I even came on the board. So this is something that he's been trying to fight for way longer. But this is my district, this is my community, and I am on board with him. And just everyone that we call either gives us another number or says it's not their job, it's not their problem. So I'm so thankful that he was able to come on here, and we can continue to fight this fight until we get it figured out. So thank you to him, and I know he's going to talk again during public participation. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Wallace. We're looking forward to your service on the mental health board for us, being our eyes and ears. Commissioner Kraft could use a helping hand, and stick close to him. He'll get you started. All right. Commissioner Nard.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Song, I applaud you for being strong and standing up for that. Because you did that, there's constituents in my district. They own 2 nail salons and they're attempting to open up their restaurant. And because you said what you said, I believe that they're being discriminated against regarding opening up their nail salon. So, their restaurant. So I would like to get that information from you so that I can pass it on to them. And I would like to ask if you could go with me to their place of business to talk to them, because they have a little trouble understanding me, but we do understand each other. But I think it would help to know that another commissioner of their descent, could come with me to talk with them about their situation. Okay, I really wish you would do that with me, and I will give you a call after this meeting to arrange that.
Thank you, Commissioner. I would love to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Commissioners. Commissioner Kraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Commissioner Song, for your words. That's very, very well said. And I want to thank the commissioners too for your confidence in me to continue serving on the CMH board. It's been a wild 3.5, 4 years so far, and I'm excited for the next 3. Looking forward to serving with the new folks, and for all of those that applied. We had so many great candidates this time. Honestly, normally we're sitting there with 4 openings and 4 people. We had all great people that applied, and if you did not get in this time, I strongly urge you to apply next time. We can always use some fresh faces, some new faces on the board, and it's just a fantastic board to be on. And I just want to thank the commissioners again for your confidence in me, and I'm looking forward to having another commissioner standing side by side with me on there. I've been sitting up there alone without another commissioner for too long, minus Kathy Vosberg. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Kraft, your leadership's really appreciated. Your time and effort is for those commissioners served here formerly and previously. Know of your work ethic, and your heart's in the right place, and we're confident that we've got the right 2 commissioners on the job for us. So thank you so much for both of you serving for all of us. Commissioner Zinner.
Commissioner Nard, I would like to go with you also to that place of business.
Good.
I will call you right after the meeting. Thank you so much.
Well, there's nothing that business is going to get anything they need now on the job. They're going to be taken care of well, I'm sure. I don't see any other speakers under public participation. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard under new business, rather? Okay. We'll close that. The next item is public participation. Anyone wish to speak? You've got 3 minutes to speak on any subject that's not on. It could be any subject at all. No derogatory or insulting language will be tolerated, or you'll be removed. Is there anyone on the phone that wishes to be heard?
Chair, we do have 2 individuals in the chat box that wish to speak. First is Dana Duggar with Lori Phillips on deck.
All right, please go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Dana Duggar here again. Just a point of clarification for Commissioner Zinner. The bike paths in Clinton and Harrison Township are cleared under contract by the Huron-Clinton Metropolitan Authority. The townships pay the Metro Park people for the maintenance and snow clearing on those bike paths. That's just a point of clarifications. I appreciate Commissioner Wallace's work with me on various issues. I have been in this area since 1979 and been working on issues with the Clinton River Spillway and various things that affect our area. I appreciate her help. If any of the commissioners seek to contact me, Commissioner Wallace has my contact information. I thank the board for their work, and I thank the young lady that is working for the discrimination, and we have no place for bias and unfair treatment of anyone in this great country we live in, and we must all stand up for just do the right thing. Thank you, commissioners. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Duggar. Who's next?
Lori Phillips is next, Chair.
Hi, this is Lori Phillips. I just want to thank you for reappointment to the Board of Community Mental Health to serve for the next 3 years again. This experience has been an emotional roller coaster at times, but I work with a bunch of great people, looking forward to working with those new that are coming on board. And for Kathy, who has been a mentor, a teacher, when you need her to reach out, she's wonderful, and I'm going to miss her greatly, but I will see her at next week's meeting on the 24th. And again, just thank you so much for your faith in me for the next 3 years.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. We appreciate, well, thank you. Can't comment. Any other speakers online or on the phone?
Chair, I see no other people indicating that they wish to speak.
Okay, very good. We'll close public participation. Next item is item to adjourn. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Romano.
Support by Nard.
Very good. Please vote.
That motion passes unanimously.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioners. Have a good afternoon, and we'll talk to each other soon, all right? Take care. Good night.
Good meeting, Chair.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.
Good night, everybody.